They're not slick. Don't let them think they're slick. All that was a convoluted advertisement, a further reminder to go watch Black Widow because Stephen A. thinks it's great. It's in his top 5, so you should watch it. Stop it.
Does it improve any storylines? Does it close anything else?
Disney, we're on to you.
No, bro.
Stop it. Stop it.
I want my money back. That was getting creepy.
Okay. I'm the one that made it creepy. Little nipple.
You know things, and you gotta say that little, I don't know, Luther Vandross voice of yours. I don't know why. Like, we don't run by yourself. Don't do that.
Does this make you uncomfortable?
Yes, it does.
Really?
I'm telling HR. I got this on video. HR is gonna see this.
I'm trying out my ASMR voice.
Okay, that on me. You know.
We got episode 5 off the cuff will be D's ASMR session. We're gonna slow talk about things. Get people, no. We don't want to drive them away. Let us know in the chat if you enjoy this and you want more of this. You want more of this sexy voice.
That's on you, not me. Because I'm already creeped out. But let's get back to the task at hand. On a more serious note, Dennis, you even got OJ.
We're not gonna touch that. Welcome everybody, welcome back to another episode of Off the Cuff. It's your boy D, your boy JR. We're back at you with another episode. We here, we got things to talk about. We're gonna do it.
This is like energy. I love that.
I was trying to pick it up. You got on me last time for not bringing the energy.
I like that.
Go. Let's do it.
Off the cuff.
I got a couple coffees in me. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, clearly you got ready to go, man.
Damn right,
baby. Wait you down. Huh.
Yeah, kids are asleep. It's like a brand new world over here.
I guess do a little something to put them down to sleep, right?
That don't work.
It don't?
That don't work. That's a myth.
That's a myth?
That's a myth.
Maybe not heavy-handed enough. You get a better bartender.
What do you want me to do? You want him to be in rehab at 8 years old?
Bro. It's not rehab. It's if you can stop, they can stop anytime they want to. What are you talking about? It's just a little something.
It's a myth. That don't work. All they're gonna be is hyper and drunk.
Okay. But eventually you pass out when you get drunk. So you know.
Yeah, after you crash into something.
Well, your kids, they bounce back.
I think that's some form of abuse. Somewhere.
If they run through all themselves, it's not abuse. It's just like
there's a law against that somewhere. I know that.
Anyways, so I think today we're gonna do something a little different. I came with a little topic called the follow-up. A few weeks ago we did a little review of Black Widow,
we did.
After 2 weeks of it, let it set in because we kind of watched just then, and sometimes you watch something, you think about it, and you're like, you know what? You may like some better, or you're like, no, that should suck even more. I hate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a minute or two. So I figured, we talk about how you felt about Black Widow 2 weeks later. Did you still like it? It's okay. Do you hate it still? How do you feel about it?
Well, 2 weeks later, I still pretty much feel the same about it. It was a movie.
Yeah.
We watched it. It did things. Things happened.
I love that it did things. Cisco Ebert, man, this guy, his review is on point.
I'm the amateur movie reviewer around here.
Really? Yeah, I know. I mean, you wouldn't know it by your other reviews, but that one was great.
Hey, man. BDBOS, man. We made a little noise.
There was a beginning, there was a middle, and there was an end.
There were people.
There were people. Some guns. Cool.
Some fights happened. There was some posing.
Good parts. That's good. Yeah, those are still my favorite things about the movie. Overall, my opinion really hasn't changed. Like, I could do it with it or without it. But there's some small details that I wish they would have incorporated better. One thing that I think they missed the point of was the whole Taskmaster thing. In hindsight, having the daughter be if you guys haven't watched it, my bad. But having
spoiler
alert, yeah, make sure you put that in there when you do editing. But having the daughter be Taskmaster 30 years later, I feel like that was kind of anticlimactic. I wish it would have been someone different, maybe someone more relevant to like the Marvel universe, so there's more connection. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt, you know, the more I think about it, it's like it just missed some things.
You know what it is? It didn't. You don't even need to relate it to the MCU. It's just that the reveal did nothing.
It did,
like,
exactly.
There was no weight to it. You, like,
yeah, honestly, like a couple of podcasts. One podcast I listened to, Eric Loaded, they pointed out like I wish it would have been like Jeremy Renner, like a clone. Like a clone. Like that would have been kind of amazing, right? Like, you know, a clone of Jeremy Renner as, you know, as Taskmaster doing all this would have been kind of a cool concept to do, because it was like, oh, we thought she was dead. No, she was alive. She turned her computer, and now her dad controls it. It was like, all right, cool, I guess. You're a shitty ass father, but you know, that's about it.
The whole Taskmaster thing, the thing that made Taskmaster a cool villain in the original source material is the fact that his ability was being able to mimic, and I feel like they didn't really get their money's worth out of that. Like,
clear if she had powers or not. Like, was she enhanced? Because we didn't get any context of, because she threw the shield like it was no one's business, right? Like, she had power through it, but I'm like, well, when you look at it, they didn't really tell us did she really have super strength added or any type of enhanced abilities. It was just like, oh, there's a computer inside. I'm not even sure if there's a computer inside or it was part of the helmet, but we just knew she was being controlled some way, you know. So for me, I'm like, it could have been better. There could have been more context about it. I mean, the best parts were probably the comedic scenes, you know, with Red Guardian thinking that the Captain America really gave a shit about him. That was kind of funny. Like, does he ask about me? You know, that was great. You know, the whole making fun of Black Widow, her posing, also very funny. Very good comedic moments. But overall, like, the more you think about it, the more like I wish they just would have not even made this movie to begin with. Because they just didn't really solve anything. Like, I thought, like I said before, I'll say it again. I thought we were going to get some closure on Budapest. Nope, didn't even mention of it. I'm like, nope. Okay, so why are we even having this movie again? I guess ScarJo has his contract up, and you just needed one more movie because you killed her off before her contract was up.
I still say that this movie, and I know it was delayed a couple years, but this movie would have made more sense 5 or 6 years ago, more in the timeline of where it happened in the MCU, because we would have cared more.
Yeah. I think
there would have been some more stakes.
Yeah.
You've been like, oh man, she might die in this movie. I mean, we know she's not going to die, but
it would have made more sense, because, like, I think you pointed out, like, these climactic scenes where, oh, is she going to die? She's not going to. I'm like, no, we know she's not going to die, because after all this, Infinity Wars happened, motherfucker. Yeah. So, like, give us these scenes where the odds are against her, like, well, not really, because we know she survives this. So why are we even thinking about she may die? And she can literally speak and jump into a volcano during the movie. Like, no, she lives, guys. How do you know that? You just watch Infinity Wars.
She found the cold spot.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was that was a problem. Like, you can't do a movie like this where, like, like the possible death can happen when we know it's not going to happen. You know, it really missed the mark. And I wish they would have done a better job of thinking about how could this better relate to the other movies. Because honestly speaking, it could have just not been made, and I think most of us would have been happy about that.
We would have been, all right.
Sorry, Scarlett, but it's true.
Not that it was a bad movie. It was.
I mean, I'm not gonna put it this way. I'm not gonna sit there and say I'm not saying I hate it, but it's just one of those things where we already got the closure. I thought I wish they would just ended certain open storylines with Scarlett Johansson, and all they did was the only thing we got was a succession plan for her and her sister. I'm like, well, we didn't need all that backstory.
No,
like we could have sped forward in the future where she meets whoever, and they're like, oh, you're her sister or adopted sister. Let's go. Like, we didn't need this movie to pass the torch, because she was dead before the torch was even passed. Right?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even know about her sister till this movie, And even afterwards, I'm like, well, I mean,
I guess it served the purpose of getting us familiar with her sister.
Yeah,
I mean, she was probably one of the better parts of the movie. So now,
you could add her in any other, like, you could add her into Hawkeye's series, and we got to know her better.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? Like, go after Jerry Renner for blaming him for killing her sister, and we figure out, oh shoot, that's a better way segue into getting to that character. I feel like this was probably the worst way because it didn't do well, in my opinion, to introduce her. Like we know like they about the Red Room and everything like that, but I just felt you missed the mark. You missed the mark for me.
You know what else the movie didn't do well in?
What's that?
Making money.
What do you say?
You know who's upset about that?
Who is that?
Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson is now suing Disney for releasing Black Widow simultaneously in theaters and Disney Plus. The claim is that because it was a simultaneous release, she didn't get what she should have gotten through the box office revenue.
That's not true.
No, she has a point. Disney fired back saying, first of all, this whole lawsuit is completely insensitive towards the whole COVID setting and everything that the pandemic,
which is bullshit,
put us in. There's some merit to that too.
No, Disney using that is bullshit, is what I'm saying. Because let's be real, Disney could have done this anytime they wanted, redone her contract to make sure she's fairly compensated. Well, what they did was, and it would make sense why it was delayed, because they knew they had to pay her for the contract. That's why they held it back for so long. Remember, the movie was ready pre-COVID.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah,
we saw the previews and everything. COVID came, and they say they pushed it back. I think that's the reason why they pushed it back, because they were trying to make sure they compensated her contract. And instead of sitting there saying, "Why don't we just put it on Disney Plus and just compensate it that way?" Depending on what views, the extra revenue we get, we give her a piece. Instead, they kind of split the difference. Said, "Well, you're being." By the way, Disney saying being insensitive, they put behind another paywall. We have to pay extra money to watch this movie.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
Like, don't sit here and use us as a way of saying, "Oh man, Scarlett she's being so greedy." You're charging us more money.
You know what's funny about it?
And I already have Disney Plus. I mean, it wasn't like we got it for free. We had to pay extra money for it.
That's their platform.
Is Star getting a piece of that money? No. So I'm pissed too.
But it's funny because, and it's also petty, which I kind of find amusing about it. In their whole clapback, Disney was like, listen, she's already getting the agreed to percentage of the box office, and she's already walking away with another $20 million, and that's before anything else. So she's being fairly compensated for her work in the movie.
When they start throwing out numbers like that, that's how you know they're holding back. There's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's why you use $20 million for because people like us, $20 million is a lot of money,
mm-hmm. Right? It's like, oh, she got $20 million. What's she complaining about?
The thing
Give me $20 million.
What they did was they literally speaking took money out of her pocket, put more money in their pocket by doing what they did. We all know that. The math was like, if it had just been a solely theater release thing, she would have made more money. The fact that they split the difference meant Disney kept more money in their pocket because they didn't have to pay her that extra half. We all know that. I mean, it's simple math. It literally speaking, they split the difference and then try to say, well, it wasn't in the contract, so we have to give you that part of that money. Well, that was never part of our deal. That was never part of your thing, anyways. Like Disney, the whole Disney Plus platform was not supposed to be having these movies. They changed things because of COVID, yes, but they also added more paying structures and levels for it. This is just a tip of the iceberg. You probably have other actors and who had these similar contracts who they may have been screwed over. I remember reading about Emma Watson also having an issue, may want to file a lawsuit because of this too, because the movie she did was 100 Dalmatians movie, Cruella.
Do you mean Emma Stone?
Emma Stone, sorry, I said Watson. Yeah, Emma Stone.
I was like, what
Emma, what is
same difference.
Yeah, exactly. But apparently that was something also in her contract. And that's not something that was kind of stated beforehand. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but for me, if I'm an actor, we sign a contract for box office release, and now you're sitting there saying, "Well, we're going to give people opportunity to watch it this way." well, you're taking money out of my pocket. You're not even telling me about it. You literally are sitting there saying, well, we only discuss box office. We don't need to tell you about this. This is not the NFL. Like, the NFL can do that type of crap and get away with it because it's a collective bargaining agreement. If you sit there and change the rules of your engagement and then say, oh yeah, we're gonna do this way, we're not gonna compensate you for it, even though it's part of my contract, well, you're kind of wrong. You didn't compensate at all. You didn't give her any extra money for that for being released on Disney Plus, and don't use us as leverage by saying, well, you guys are being sensitive to COVID, because facts are you're charging us more money. Like, we had Disney Plus, and I had to pay extra. Yeah, I had to pay extra money to watch that movie, watch every movie they put on there individually. I don't get to keep it afterward too after I pay for it. It's a limited time.
They make you feel so dirty.
Yeah, it's a limited time, and then it goes away again. And I'm like, so if I have to watch it again, I have to watch. Okay, so no, Disney, you don't get away with this. I'm sorry. Like, I'm backing, ScarJo. You may not like it, but you guys have deep pockets, and y'all being cheap with your money because you won't hold it for yourself.
And this is, of course, all part of the overarching story that Disney, along with all the other major studios, are trying to push streaming services as much as possible.
Which is fine, great.
Well, let's think about that, because by doing so, they are icing out the theater industry altogether. AMC and all these other big theater companies, they are scared to death of this right now, and they're fighting. I think AMC specifically put out some statement recently about Black Widow saying, Disney sabotaged the release of this movie, and they did so on purpose because they want to push streaming as the way to go. Basically saying that the studios want to cut out the middleman, the theaters, and keep more money in their pocket.
Listen, the argument of watching a movie at your own leisure is great. I love it. Sorry, theaters, but it's true, because sometimes, like, what you guys charge to go and watch a movie nowadays, especially if you live in New York, is ridiculous. You're going to be spending a lot of money depending on how big your family is. So having the ability to watch your own home sound system, I don't have to get dressed up. I can watch it butt naked if I want to. Whatever floats your boat is great. I
don't need that image.
I've been saying some people like the weird things, so we're trying to. I'm trying to include inclusive, bro. I'm trying to bring everyone in. You should learn something from me. Anyways, so
dude, so do you watch them nipples exposed, full nip action?
Dude. I didn't say I do that. I'm saying if you want to watch it, but
I thought you were talking from experience.
I didn't say that. I said if you people want to, people. I didn't say I do that. I'm good. Okay. Anyways, sorry for that tangent. Some people
don't let this man fool you.
Like I was saying,
this dude is a freak. He has some issues. Don't let him fool you. Go ahead.
Anyways, small nipples. So I lost my train of thought because someone likes to just wait to talk.
You got nips on the brain now.
Okay. Anyways, but to be fairly honest with you, I don't mind the concept. If the movie theaters aren't getting what they want, well, that's between them and the studios, right?
Right.
Like, that's a whole different conversation. I mean, if that's just something they have to work out those logistics on their end. But for me, like, how many times you go to movie theaters and you don't want to be sitting next to someone you like, or the chairs are broken? So like, it's not really an enjoyable experience anymore.
Oh man, if producer Moni was out here right now, she would give you a laundry list of horror stories of people kicking the chair behind you, or talking, or on their phone in front of you. I mean, before kids and parenthood and whatever, we were in the movie theaters almost every weekend. We're theater nuts, so I do kind of miss the theater experience. I would always love going there.
Great. That's what they're looking for.
But yeah, there's some downfalls too. It's not a perfect experience. So you got to deal with everybody else.
So having options isn't a bad thing for people, because some people will still like to go to movies.
Yeah.
Some people are forced to go because they had no other options to watch these movies. Now we have options. I don't mind having options. I mean, if theaters were cheaper, you probably wouldn't have to worry about that, would it? I mean, that's how I see it as. I mean, like, when I'm forced to take, I have kids and everything, I have to do all that crap. You have to pay per ticket. It's like $15 per head. $15 per head. Meanwhile, they're saying, "Hey, if you pay $30 off the bat, you get to watch the movie." Okay, great.
And just pop your own popcorn.
Pop my own popcorn. You don't have to pop. You want a whole meal. You get a steak. Get your beer. You do whatever you want. Just because you're home, your own leisure. I mean, I know sometimes when I used to go to movie theaters, I bring my own food, you know, kind of hanging out, you know, some Popeyes, whatever. I want a fried chicken sandwich. I mean, I've been doing this as a kid. Me and my boy Chris, we used to bring, KFC was we were movies, before movies, KFC run, and we come in. Like, listen, because their food sucks. Like, a hot dog being $10? Come on, man. I mean, I don't even do that baseball games because Yankees are trying to pull that crap. Come on. Trying to be that Kanye West.
Freaking
But,
baseball
you know,
games.
before we go off that tangent, like Disney
I got the ill flashbacks of that Subway Series game that we went to that eventually got rained out 2 hours later.
Yeah,
but Yankee Stadium stayed open, so it's like, oh, you're gonna buy beer and then food and crap.
Well, when you're waiting, what the fuck are you supposed to do, right? You're gonna sit there like, all right, well, let's go get a beer, let's get some food. It's gonna start soon.
Did we make enough money? Did we make enough money? All right, game's cold. Go home, guys.
But the thing is, what was bad about that experience was not because they called it because of the rain. Is that they waited 2 hours to call it. We left. Stop raining. Sun came out.
Yeah.
So it was literally, it had nothing to do with, it felt like they just didn't want to play this game because they wanted to set their rotation up for the future. That was a whole side note. Sorry, guys. He brought it up. Baseball's kind of boring. I know.
I'm still bitter about that.
I know baseball's boring, but some people can't get off the brain out. I keep on telling them, let it go.
Damn $15 beer.
Anyways. Yeah, so Disney, you're not gonna sit there and get away with doing this because I'll be honest with you. You know, my biggest problem with you right now is this one dude. You know how to do it is?
Which dude?
Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, that dude.
That dude. He started from the bottom, now he's here. I respect the dude's game. You know, he's all over the place he's their spokesperson. Congratulations. But bruh, let's talk. Your top 5 list? Top 5, Dennis. Have you seen his top 5?
Are you referring to the?
Have you seen his top? Have you seen his top 5?
The top 5 Marvel movies list that was posted on the ESPN Instagram account and all social media accounts. Is that the top 5 that you're referring to?
I mean, he was going all over. He was all over the place on ESPN with his top 5. Like white people gave a damn. Like, listen. I never even thought in my head, I wonder what Stephen A's top 5 Marvel movies is ever. Never crossed my head. And now I got the answer to the question, which I never got that answer.
You're gonna say you weren't sitting there thinking, you know who would be the authority on Marvel movies? Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah. I mean, before we keep continuing, we gotta let him know what his top 5 movies are. Now, I don't actually have a problem with all his movies. You know, 4 out of 5, I'm cool with. But there's just one that he has gone way too far, Dennis.
I'm pulling it up on our screen here. Stephen A. Smith's top 5 Marvel movies. Number 5, Avengers. Number 1, the first Avengers.
Number 1.
Number 4, Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
Number 3, Black Widow. Number 2, The Winter Soldier.
Good movie. I liked it.
I respect that. And number 1, Black Panther. Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But
one of those things is not like the others.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Like, now I'm not sure if he's watching porn version of this or whatever, or he's got the ScarJo Hansen. But bro, Black Widow in top 5.
Well.
Does he know there's more than 5 Marvel movies? Like, there was only 5? I don't know how she got to 3. Too,
there's no guarantee that he knows there was more than 5. So that might be a legit.
But it's 3, so I don't know how he got to 3. Like, come on. Like,
one factor is that he's clearly obsessed with ScarJo Hansen. I
don't think ScarJo Hansen would put her number 5.
He's actually made comments on ScarJo in the past. I forget which.
Go by ScarJo now.
I'm just trying to shorten it.
ScarJo.
That's how he referred to her.
Oh really?
It was I forget what show it was, or maybe radio, maybe TV. I don't remember. But he was discussing the movie. I think maybe it was the first Avengers when the Hulk was going crazy. And
that's the second Avenger.
Oh, it was the second one.
And
she got caught under some beam or something fell on her, and she was caught under it, and she was stuck there, and she was stuck in a precarious position.
Yeah.
And he referred to that position in a very, it was a bit uncomfortable. It was like 20 seconds of very uncomfortableness that was going on. So the point is that he's obviously, got a thing for her, which could influence.
She's a very attractive woman. I see. We all like beautiful women, so it's not a bad thing you're attracted to her. But let's be real, it's number 3 on his list. It's number 3, bro. Like, did you watch any other movies?
I'm not convinced that he watched all 5 of those movies.
I'm not sure either. I think he only watched one of them and said, I don't want to be like a group. I don't want to look like a groupie. So let's split in the middle and just give me 5 movies.
But what I will suggest, and I'm going to get my conspiracy theory cap on, is that maybe, just maybe, Black Widow found its way onto his little list that got posted around the same time that the movie was released, to potentially get some more attention and get some more views to that movie.
To probably streaming service or to go in person? I'm confused.
Disney would probably prefer you stream it.
Oh, but really? Because more money.
Yeah, more money. Yeah, they don't have to pay AMC
or Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
ScarJo, as Stephen A. would say. You know what I'm saying?
But maybe that had something. Maybe it's all about the money.
I mean,
maybe
but it gets worse because after he drops this, then we get this crazy picture of Stephen A. Smith with his head on Iron Man's body with the gauntlet. Like he's got all the rings. Now, there's only one guy. There's only a few guys I know have all the rings, and he's not one of them. You got Tom Brady. You got Michael Jordan. You got J-Lo. Did I miss anyone?
J-Lo.
Have you seen how many engagement she's been collecting recently, bro? I mean,
she's got a whole Infinity
Gauntlet. 2 gauntlets right now.
She got the Mark Anthony stone. She got the Ben Affleck stone.
Oh my God! I mean, and she got more money than him too.
That's kind of
which
funny.
Is crazy. I hate J-Lo's game, but she Thanos tenfold easily. Like she collected rings to take a name.
She's Thanos from the block.
No, she honestly she must be part of the Target Bureau where she's like collecting these rings and putting them in drawers. Like it's like a paperweight now. Don't worry about it. Oh, you want some jewelry for a little kid? Oh yeah, go right ahead. Don't worry about it. Just come back when you found it. That's what she's doing. Hey, I don't hate to play at the game. I'm just saying, like J-Lo she's at the top of the list with the rings.
Don't be fooled by the stones that I got. I'm still Thanos from the block.
Sorry for that tangent, but I mean it was true. But yes, Stephen A. Smith with this picture out here with the gauntlet like he's the man on Marvel. I'm like, first of all,
whoever's responsible for that picture
should be fired.
Should be fired immediately.
It's disrespectful.
Oh yeah.
Listen,
it hurts.
Tony Stark / Iron Man died to save us. He died.
And you're disrespecting. You're disrespecting Tony Stark right now.
He left a wife and child at home.
He loved her 3,000.
Yes. And this is how you repair? Like this?
Shameful.
It's like
shameful. Disney / ESPN social media. Shameful.
Disrespect.
Do better.
Yes, do better. Don't play us like fools, man. Like seriously. Like come on. Like first the Space Jam is down our throats. Now you got Stephen A. Smith and his BS top 5.
And the top 5 list is garbage. It's mostly garbage. It's highly debatable.
You can debate some of these movies. There's only one you can't really debate. That's my whole issue. Like we can debate 4 of the 5 movies easily. Yeah. You're entitled to sit there. I think Black Panther would be my top 5.
Black Panther's got to be on every top 5.
Yeah, I mean that's
every top 5.
Okay, so that's one off the list. We're not going to bar you. So we've got 3. What you said? Winter Soldier, Infinity Wars, and the original Avengers.
Well, he didn't have Infinity War. He had Endgame.
Oh, Endgame.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little cliche because everyone's like, "Oh, it's the final one." So even though I think most of listen. I'm more an Infinity War person.
Absolutely.
I was like, okay, great, but
Infinity War was the event. Infinity War was the thing.
But I think for some people, simple-minded people, it's like since since Endgame was Endgame as the final installation, clearly it has to be better than Infinity Wars, which it really wasn't. But
I mean, it wasn't better than Infinity War.
Of course.
But it was the necessary conclusion to Infinity War.
Yes, it was.
So there's nothing wrong with it. It's a great movie. I would actually have both of those movies, Infinity War and Endgame, in my top 5.
Well, I don't have top 5 we discussed.
We
would not be in my top.
We can dig into this later. We can absolutely
maybe another episode, but not
yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm just pointing it out. I mean, I don't know you bet both in the top 5. I mean, there's some good ones out there, and like put it this way, I think Infinity Wars can stand on its own pretty easily. Endgame, like it's clever, some clever things in there, but and I think there's some dramatic parts about it. You have two. Captain America didn't really die, but two Avengers die. Which that meant something. Those were very climactic parts about it. Even though, technically speaking, Infinity Wars, half of them die. Half the world dies. But you get what I mean. Like, it wasn't the same way it was done in Endgame. But
yeah, you're right. Cap didn't die. He just went back to live with Peggy Carter for all these years, and
he told her about
not tell Peggy that he made out with Sharon. I'm convinced he didn't say it.
I mean, would you? Listen, technically, it happens in the future. It didn't happen yet, so it never happened.
I mean, if it happened in my reality, but not yours, it's two separate timelines. That's really.
There's only 4 people that know, right? It's him, Sharon, and she on the run, so she can't say nothing.
And that's the other Sharon that's on the. That's not even your Sharon on the run.
And then you have your 2 boys, right? You have Winter Soldier, he's crazy, no one can believe him, and you have the Falcon, and that's your homeboy.
But that's
Guy Code.
But that's got to be messed up. At like the family reunions, you have the Thanksgiving, and you got like 7-year-old Sharon running around.
By the time they even get there, she's already dead. So we're good. Right? He's good. I mean, there's sometimes, listen, there's no reason to turn over that stone when nothing has happened. It was just a kiss.
But I mean, one would argue you shouldn't be hiding anything from your significant other.
Well, do you talk about all your exes with your significant other? If it was their ex, tell me she wasn't even an ex. It was just a kiss. You can't. Listen, that doesn't make any sense. One person talks about every person they kissed to with their significant other.
I mean, if it was your niece, maybe you'd want to know.
No, technically speaking, she didn't exist, so you can't tell. No, because you're messing with the timeline. You tell her in advance. Ha, yes. I saved you. I got you back. Steve. I got you back. Some people are haters.
Hey, listen.
You can't tell her in advance. You cannot tell her in advance.
Well, I know he didn't. That's all I'm saying.
Why? Because he can't sacrifice the timeline. I mean, that's the reason why he doesn't tell her.
Imagine that's the reason that Thanos still wins in the end because you spilled the beans on making out with Sharon.
Are we saying that the only reason? So if had Cap actually said something beforehand, we're talking about whole Infinity Wars and Endgame wouldn't happen. Is that your theory now?
The butterfly effect, right?
That's your theory now.
Butterfly flaps its wings and the other side of the world.
That's one hell of a kiss, man. That's what actually no, because Thanos first for the first Avengers is Thanos trying to get Infinity Stone. So there you go, your point right there. Boom, you're good. I'm good. He's safe. Hey, well. Man, Cap, I got your back, man. Some people here are just haters. I don't know. Man.
Go ahead, Cap.
Stephen A. Smith. Some people are just Stephen A. Smith.
Don't you dare.
Oh man, what? Who you put next in your top 5?
Oh, stop it. Go ahead, Cap. Okay. Cap, do your thing.
So you also
do your thing with all those Carters.
Top 5 too, Cap. So I just said it. Yeah, Thor Dark World. You have it on your top 5.
Hell no, I do not. When you're ready with your top 5, we'll go toe to toe with this top 5.
Put on the list. I will do my due diligence. I will do my whole rewatching my movies, so I can sit there and see how I feel about it.
I mean, I figure as a Marvel fan, you have a top 5 ready to go.
No,
but
man, no. Top 5s are you don't do that like that. You take time. It's meticulous. You have to make sure that you can back up everything you say why it should be in your top 5.
You think Stephen A. was all meticulous with his top 5?
Hell no, he wasn't. I'm pretty sure he didn't watch any of these movies. I mean,
they didn't even tell him they're posting that. They just threw it out there.
Just read up the cue cards. He's Anchorman, man. He's an Anchorman guy. That's the way he was. Listen, I think that's right.
Can you imagine? Like, there's like, what's his top 5? What would it be? It's like Black Panther. Black Panther's number 1. You know that's number 1. Him with his Tribe Called Quest jacket.
I can see Disney doing that too. Anyway, it's like, yeah. Wakanda forever, dude. You seen them?
You know Black Panther's his number 1. Go ahead, add that to the list. Put that on there.
You should watch it. Yes, he's black, so yeah. We'll give him credit. Credit's due. And then the rest, just make it fun, have fun with it. But make sure you put black women in the middle, because that's what we need to feature. I mean, it really upsets me that they try to fool us. They just try to play for fools, right? Like you ain't gonna. By the way, you ain't gonna pay this girl, but you gonna sit there and use her name straight over on us like that too.
They're not slick. Don't let them think they're slick.
Fool you.
All that was a convoluted advertisement, a further reminder to go watch Black Widow because Stephen A. thinks it's great. It's in his top 5, so you should watch it. Stop it.
Does it improve any storylines? Does it close anything else?
Disney, we're on to you.
No, bro.
Stop it. Stop it.
I want my money back. I want my money back. Y'all stealing from us. Am I wrong?
Didn't you watch it at my place?
So what? Us? I said us, not me.
You say your money.
Yeah, I do pay for the Disney stuff products too, dumbass.
All right, but you didn't pay for Black Widow?
How do you know I didn't watch it again?
You didn't.
How do you know that?
Because you didn't. I just know that.
You don't know that?
I know that.
No,
I know
I did
things.
watch it twice.
I know things.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Now it's getting creepy.
Okay. I'm the one that made it creepy. Little nipple.
You know things, and you got to say that little, I don't know, Luther Vandross voice of yours. I don't know why. Like, we don't run by yourself. Don't do that.
Does this make you uncomfortable?
Yes, it does.
Really?
I'm telling HR. I got this on video. HR is gonna see this.
I'm trying out my ASMR voice.
Okay, that on me.
We gotta expand our video capabilities here.
Listen, there's some lines that I don't cross, and that's one of them, bruh.
Yeah, man. If you ain't got the chops for it, I'll cover that need for the channel.
Okay, you do that.
Yeah, man.
You'll be sending some crazy people in your. You know what? Enjoy that.
The episode 5 of OffTheCuff will be D's ASMR session. We're gonna slow talk about things. Get people, no. We don't want to drive them away. Let us know in the chat if you enjoy this and you want more of this. You want more of this sexy voice.
You do that type of stuff. I'm not sure she don't want you to do that, but that's on you, not me.
I mean, if it gets the views in, I think she'll allow it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one because I'm already creeped out. But let's get back to the task at hand. On a more serious note, Dennis, for the past week we've been watching the Olympics, right?
That's right.
A major event happened. Well, I want to say a major event. Something happened. Situation happened recently with one of the GOAT of all time. Oh, that's another person who has a bunch of rings, but they gold medals. But Simone Biles, right? She pulled out of the group competition. Actually, today she pulled out of individual competition as well for her mental health, which I'm all for. Like mind, body, and soul. It has to be one for you to do stuff sometimes, and when you're not in the right frame of mind to do something which is dangerous, and you can harm yourself, it just doesn't work. And I would say I am very impressed by this young woman's ability to show, hey, I'm strong, but we athletes also have to go through this type of stuff all the time. What I don't like are these armchair quarterbacks calling her soft and saying stuff like Michael Jordan would have done that, and I'm like, really? Because he retired after going back to back because his dad died, and he retired for a year and a half, and we all were cool with it, and no one said a word. Simone Biles takes herself out of the team competition for her mental health because she's not there, and we have the nerve to sit there and question her, like, who the hell do we think we are? Who do we think we are? Seriously, we're gonna sit there and tell someone who is the greatest of all time, Dude, she's so good. They're changing the rules because they're like, well, we have to grade her harder, and it's not fair for everyone. Like, they're saying it's not fair. She's so good. We have to change the rules so we can say all the crazy, impressive stuff she doesn't look as impressive compared to these simple tactics.
Didn't they name a move after her?
They named multiple moves after her. This is how good this woman is. Like, this is, first of all, this is unfair how you even get treated within gymnastics, that they're trying to make things harder for her individually because everyone else just can't keep up with her. I mean, that's ridiculous. This woman is just in a whole nother world, right? Her career, how good she is in her career right now, no 1% of the world would ever be as good in their career.
Like 1% of the 1%.
Exactly the point.
Because it's not even like this is elite level athlete. It's not like
this is like a god.
You're the elite. She's the god of the elites. The elites can't do what she does. What she does doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist
anywhere else.
It's not even fair to everyone. Like, she comes in a room and people are like, it's over. Yes, it's over. Right? This is how good this woman is. And we have people out there questioning her because of what they don't think she should be able to tough through her mental issues. Like, seriously, like most it bothers me.
No,
it bothers me.
It's a problem.
The way they're treating this woman right here. Like, seriously,
it's a problem. How many people just have such an issue? It's interesting in a way to see the wide spectrum of reactions because you've gotten everything from leave her alone, mental health, like let her do what she needs, it's okay, to the other extreme of she's a disappointment to our country, she betrayed America.
How dare she? Last Olympics too, like, so everything she did prior to that was like what, irrelevant now because the funny thing is we don't treat athletes who cheated in the Olympics and got their gold medals taken away like we just treat
how by the way, as a side note, how is Russia like even there still competing?
I don't know, but
they can't call themselves Russia because Russia cheated so much that they're not allowed to play, but all the Russian players are still there. They're still competing. They just called it something else. Was it the Olympic Committee of Russia or something stupid like that?
It's very corrupt, as we know. Like, it's like it's who you pay off. But you know what's interesting as well is that Simone Biles also suffers from ADHD, right? Most people didn't know that, and it's actually the reason why we don't know that is because Russia actually hacked her medical records a few years ago. Really? They got leaked, and she had to talk about it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That came from the Russia hacks? Simone Biles was victimized by the Russia hacks?
Yeah, they hacked her? I'm telling you, man. The only reason I know this is because don't judge me. I listened to a segment of Joe Rogan's podcast, a little ago.
How dare you? You're disgusting human being.
First of all, I've seen you wear his black shirts, so we can talk. Anyways, and sometimes Joe Rogan does have some good, good points, good arguments, or just good segments here and there. I've never listened to a full show, but parts of it is not bad.
His episodes are like 5 hours long. Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they're good, depending on the guest and what they're talking about, but other times it gets old. But they talked about this, and they pointed out, like, she also suffers with ADHD, and her medication she takes for it to help regulate from since she was a child. Apparently, there's controversy where she may not have been able to take that medication because the first Olympics she was on it was through a therapeutic exemption. But in Tokyo, it's Tokyo, right?
Yeah,
Japan.
Yeah.
It's illegal over there for therapeutic consumption. So there's not only to this, there's conflicting theories, but so she's not able to have the medicine, like the medicine she normally has with her when she's competing as well, which also adds to the strain that she's dealing with. Because to be honest with you, her point also about how people have treated her prior to never having her back, like what all they endured with the Larry Nassar and all that type of, I don't want to get into it. You guys Google it if you want. It's disgusting.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
But the fact that people who knew and did nothing and now they're all, blah this, but get over it, you do Olympics. It's kind of it's a slap in the face. You want me to do all this shit for you, run through hoops, do all this stuff, but when it comes time to really protect me and us as a group, You do nothing for us. Like, it's when Olympics are on, you throw us on there or on TV with Wheaties, all this stuff. Everyone makes money off of us. But then when it comes down to when that's over and crap like this happens, where are you guys at? You're not protecting us. You don't care about us. You only care about your dollar, that final dollar. And then when I do something like this, I'm getting attacked by your people because I've had enough and I can't just deal with it anymore. I can't keep it all in. No, this woman is just doing what she needs to do. Nami also get the same thing, and people read her for it too. I'm like, these women go through so much. I love how they're young black women doing this too, and they're attacking them left and right. Like they haven't been. You don't understand, black women get attacked all the time. Look at it right now. They're fucking strong as hell, and they go through. Let me tell you now, you're not gonna touch them. I'll tell you right now, you're not touching them.
Oh, I know.
Because they've been through hell and back, and they only get stronger. It only gets stronger, and it's going to get worse for you guys. Because I say right now, I would not want to be on the bad side when shit hits the fan. I'm just saying. Don't ask for any autographs or interviews when you're sitting there talking crap about them after the fact. You know, like you really care. Because if you really cared, you would have sat there and reached out and talked about what the issues are. But you don't. You just want them for one purpose only. And when they serve their purpose, you just throw them back to the wolves until you get them again. That's what they do. And it's just appalling. This is not just for athletes. This is like for how they treat people in general. A lot of times, it's just sad.
Oh yeah, it is messed up. Coming back around a bit to her own like mental health and the athleticism of it. I heard one show kind of discussing the whole situation. And essentially, in an interview, she discussed that she wasn't feeling right when she was first attempting to do everything, and that when she was actually in the air, she didn't feel right.
That's dangerous.
Absolutely, because any misstep, any miscalculation, and that's a horrific injury that will just end your career. And when you add on to the fact that it's not even the normal moves that everyone does. It's moves that only she can do. She's the only human being that's ever been able to do it.
And don't give more than 10.10 anyway.
Yeah, like, you get it. Like, she's doing something superhuman, and she doesn't feel right doing it.
At the end of the day, she owes no one anything. Right now, she owes no one anything. Her teammates understood. They had her back. Anyone who sits there and says, she let her team down. Like, have you guys even talked to her team? Do you even speak for them? I find it so funny. Everyone's just spews off all this stuff, and yet no one actually talks to the people you're speaking for to sit there and see how they felt about it. You're saying, no, they must be pissed. They're pissed off because you let them down. They're supposed to win gold medals because of you. So the whole time. So let me get this straight. In your world, she's the workhorse that gets everyone gold medals, and when she says, I can't do this, she lets them down because her job is to get everyone else gold medals. Does that sound right to you? That's how some of these arguments are right now.
It sounds a little
it sounds like, it's like,
a little shady.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a black horse. Go win us everything. Oh, how dare you? No, these people do nothing all the time. I'm not saying they really do nothing. I'm saying that's how they're presenting it. That's how some of these people are presenting it as. Simone Biles cost these women gold medals because had she not done this, they would have got gold. I'm like, they still have an opportunity to still do that. I mean, these are talented women in their own right. Give them the respect that they deserve. Give them the fact that you think Simone Biles doesn't talk to her teammates, let them know, hey, I'm there for you, and this is what I'm going through. And they're like saying, you know what? We get that. We're fine. You go through what you got to go through, and if any time you pull out, we're fine with that. I'm positive she would do that because that's the type of person she is.
Oh yeah,
she's one of the better people in this world. And the fact that we're sitting there questioning her as a person and as a teammate because that's how we want to do it. Because you cost America a gold medal, guys. This is a fucking Olympics. This is a sport. This is not. There's bigger things at hand in his life than just a gold medal.
Yeah,
there are bigger things. Yeah. I'm sorry.
If you look at what she's going through and you take it personally, stop it.
Like they go to gold medal themselves.
Stop it.
Like if you want to go compete in the Olympics yourself, right? Go sit there and try to run a mile in the fastest time possible.
Get in the gym.
Your ass off the gym.
Get in the gym and do some crazy ass move that they had to name after you because they've never seen it before.
Then you do it yourself. Don't have her do your work for you and say, us America, us this, when that, and when she gets back here, treat her like crap anyways. Because that's what you're gonna do. You get mad at her for not being for saying what's on her mind and how you treat everyone, how you treat people like her all the time, but thanks for go battle anyways. That's what you're gonna do to her. So it's atrocious the way how people kind of think only about themselves and then try to play victim within that same realm. It's astounding. It's iconic.
I think that the one thing you can take from it is that the people do have those points of views. By and large, they're just the noisy minority of the because the majority of people have some sensibility and will see. Oh yeah, absolutely. They need to join the pack here.
Let me join the pack.
Understand that.
Go on an island and go have your fun, because I tell you right now, I just can't deal with stupid anymore. I'm just done with stupidity, and that's just stupidity. Like, I was thinking, I'm gonna say what the first thing comes to my mind. Like Kanye, you go hang out with Kanye. Go ahead, go put some pantyhose in your face and drop an album, but not really drop an album. Have people show.
Is the album dropped?
I don't think so. No, it's not dropped.
Does an album exist or not?
It's not dropped. It's not dropped. But the pantyhose have been dropped.
Is this like the Wu-Tang album that there's only one?
He's living in the stadium. You know that, right? Like the stadium he did the recording in, like the Ben Stadium in Atlanta. He lives there right now. He has a whole suite because of the fact that he's still working on his album. But he also got escorted out during a United game because he wasn't supposed to be there out of his room. That's a whole nother story. Like he was walking around with his.
What does that even look like?
He was walking around with his pantyhose and everything. And people were like, "Yo, you can't be here. Like, you don't have tickets." So he lives in the stadium.
So there's a damn soccer game going on. Like he just walks out of the field with his coffee cup. Like,
no.
Like, yo, what y'all do with the coffee maker? Where's the Keurig at?
No, he's not Baker Mayfield, okay? Okay. But yes, he's coming out with his pantyhose, which I don't get. I don't get the pantyhose.
Man.
Wait,
Kanye, what happened to you, man?
$50 for fucking chicken figures.
What happened to you? You were so
Kardashians, but that's
you were so good.
Yeah.
You were so good.
So was Chris Humphries, and then he met the Kardashians.
Oh man,
Lamar Odom, Kardashians.
I would put the first 3 Kanye albums up against anybody's first 3 albums, pound for pound. They were so good. Even the 4th album, the 808s and Heartbreaks, there was some good stuff there, man. And then
go back to Wyoming, man. Just go back to Wyoming. I'm done with the dude. Go put your pantyhose on, go to Wyoming, and go put that little blue bag jacket you designed for the Gap somewhere too as well. Because I'm sorry, I'm not Easy fan either.
Gap, what are you doing, Gap?
I don't like Easy. I said it.
Stop it, Gap. Stop it.
People have money for ugly sneakers.
Stop it.
I'll say I went for real Jordans.
I want the old Kanye back.
They ain't having it, man.
Man.
Yeah. I know college dropout.
Can you imagine the verses? Imagine the verses. Old Kanye versus new Kanye. And his dumbass will just hop from side to side of the screen.
Oh, yeah.
He'll throw the pantyhose on for the new Kanye. Come back over with a backpack for the old.
Oh God. I mean, he has split personalities probably. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
He probably would do it.
Oh man.
He probably would do it. I was like, I can't. I don't want to hear this guy. I mean, not want to hear this guy.
At the end of it, he'll have some new song that's a collab. Kanye featuring old Kanye.
What are you talking about? He went to do verses because it's like his album. It probably will never drop. You tune in to a live stream and he's walking around his house with his pantyhose on, hanging out. It was like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. Just stay with me for a second.
With his coffee cup. Yeah. Where is the Keurig?
I mean, we're still waiting for your album to drop, but we were waiting for the verses. Oh yeah, keep waiting. 2 days later, he still hasn't started the verses. That's how it was going to happen. He would never get. He just would. He couldn't stay alone. He could not stay when Eric.
The live stream will just be an empty studio for 2 hours.
It'll be him walking around because he's going to sit there and show up. He'll show up late though, but it's him in the studio just like hanging out. Pantyhose. Hey guys, be with you in a second. No, scratch that. He wouldn't even talk. Just sit there, hang out, then leave. Show up again. Y'all thinking about the verse about to start? Like, oh no! Kanye just walks out the room again. That's how it's gonna work. We all know it. We all know.
I almost want it to happen. I almost want Kanye to be involved in the verses just to see the train wreck.
No, I actually don't. Can
you imagine?
I don't want any more Kanye.
Kanye versus anybody in a versus, and the other person wins by default because Kanye has a show.
I just don't want any more Kanye. I'm done. Like, why do we keep giving this guy too much of a platform? I'm sorry, because right now all he does is take away from society. That's all he's doing. That's all he's doing right now. He's take. Dude, you make all his money already. Go somewhere and enjoy it. You know, just go. Buy your island and enjoy. You know, it was great while it lasted, but you know, see you when I see you. Maybe you drop the album before you leave, but I doubt it because you're all over the place.
I don't even want it. I want
it. Don't worry, you don't buy it because you're a sucker.
I mean, let's be real. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it, but I might.
I ain't say that.
I might buy it. Maybe. Don't look at me. Don't judge me. You don't look at me, man. Stop it.
Don't look at me. I'll listen to it.
Spotify. Just Spotify the damn thing.
Well, listen, I'll listen to parts of it because I won't have no choice because people always play it. If it sounds good, yeah, I may purchase it, but I doubt it because I don't want to get this guy any more money. I really don't. Like, it's really hard to pull for a guy who probably doesn't want us to succeed anyways. Like, all he wants is my money, that's it. I've heard some of the stuff he says when people don't buy his Yeezys, he gets upset. And I'm like, for those ugly crappy sneakers, why would I pay $400 for the sneakers?
Are you trying to say that Yeezus doesn't care whether or not you succeed in life?
I'm never calling that man Yeezus, okay? Don't you ever say that in front of me. I will kick you off this show if you say that ever again. That's your one and final warning, okay?
Listen, man.
No, we ain't going there. I'm like religious. I wouldn't do that.
But he's a man that's found God.
Okay, fine. I don't know. You sure you found God?
Yeah.
Is that why you wearing the pantyhose? Is that making him closer to God?
I don't know what chapter and verse that's in, but I mean maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Doesn't he have like his?
Why does it feel like we're all in purgatory? Because that's what happens. That's what I feel like when I have to watch Kanye. It's like purgatory. Like, why does this guy keep talking? If he's not making music, he should be talking. That's how I.
Doesn't he have like his own personal choir that he just like keeps stashing in basement or something?
Church, isn't it like a church? Yeah.
But
the thing is, I think it was in Wyoming, which he's not there anymore. It's just like his ranch is all vacant. I mean, I guess after he ran for president, quote unquote, he gave up on that old church thing. Who knows? I mean, he's now getting divorced.
Man,
Lady Kardashian's on this.
It's. Yeah, I mean, you almost have to just because of the pattern that's been set.
Hey,
but
there's history.
Yeah,
Ben Simmons had a jump shot before he met Kardashian. That's rumor. That's a rumor. Can't be verified, but apparently.
Oh, he went there.
He did Kendall, and then he lost his jump shot.
Oh, man.
I'm joking. Kendall's the one we like the most. I think. I can't get him right, but you know, it's one of them.
Yeah. One of them did it.
They're all jinxes.
Oh man.
He even got OJ.
We're not gonna touch that.
I guess on that note we should close it up, right?
We're not gonna touch that one.
On that note, you should end the podcast right there because
I think that's a good place to call it. So do you have anything else you want to talk to the people about?
Chest, man. I feel like it was Festivus this year right now. Woof.
You feel lighter?
I do feel lighter. I got a lot of shit on. I didn't think we would get to Kanye, but you know, that's great.
Somehow we got there, man.
Yeah,
that was a wild ride.
Somehow I feel like Kanye made us do that. You know, I'm just saying.
You know, I wouldn't be so. You see, the influence of Yeezus is a
Okay, we're ending it. I told you, man. You're off the show.
All right. Before we go.
Before I will break this glass of your head.
No, all right. No. We clean it up. We're bringing it all home now. All right. Before we go, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for sticking with us, liking and subscribing. If you haven't done so already, do it. Join the squad. Get in on the movement while it's still on the ground level, because you will be the one to say, hey, I was there when it was just the two of them talking stupidity about Kanye. I was there for it, man.
Check out Instagram, OffTheCuff.
We are expanding.
Pod.
We are expanding our social media, so follow us on all the avenues: Facebook, Instagram.
We got a Facebook page?
We will in the very near future.
I guess for older folks, right?
Well,
Like, feel like you're
my old movie review page will be fully renovated and will become our Facebook page for the Off the Cuff podcast. So
I didn't know we're doing anything. That was the first year I've heard that too, guys.
So we had a whole meeting about this.
You can't say we had a whole meeting about this when it was just yourself and yourself.
No, I was talking to your dumbass on the phone.
No, you weren't. Okay.
Yeah. Jesus be with you.
Dang it. I have a murder to do. I'm looking for a new co-host because Dennis is dead. I'm sorry, Big D's dead, or D, whatever he goes by now.
I think that's all there is to this episode. Thank y'all for watching again. Be on the lookout for us. Join us next time. We'll have more to talk about. Maybe.
You
Can we end it? I don't even know where I'm going anymore.
I don't know where you're going anymore.
The spirit of Jesus has left me. We'll catch y'all next time, y'all. Have a good one. Love y'all. Peace.
Stop the video.
Jesus.
Stop the video.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Much love, y'all. Catch you on the next one.